Hello! Thank you for logging on to satalktoday.com. I'm super duper, duper excited today. I have one of my most beautiful ambassador friends from the United America pageant system, and Miss Cynthia Trinidad is in the house, so yay! We're very excited to have her on. She's an ambassador for the United America pageant. And tell me, what was your title, your last title before you became an ambassador?
Before I became an ambassador, I was Mrs. Petite United America.
So to be in the petite division, you have to be under 5'6". So unless I'm wearing my 5.5-inch heels, I'm really barely 5'4 3/4 on a good day, which I've been told by doctors I don't have a lot of good days when they measure me. So how tall are you?
I'm not.
Without shoes?
Yes, 5 even.
5 even. So
on my good days.
And I love that about this system. There's so many wonderful things about this system, but it does allow the more petite girl to compete, you know, because we love our long-legged, beautiful lovelies who compete.
Gorgeous.
They're gorgeous. And it's hard to compete against them.
Absolutely.
It's like there's only so much heel we can wear.
But stilts.
Exactly. Walking sticks, so we can try to be up there. So it's such an awesome pageant system because it just gives so many women so many more opportunities than the traditional pageants that you would see on TV, like the Miss USA and Miss America, which we love as well.
Absolutely.
It's just different focus. And so the USA system, for those of you who don't know different systems, is the one that does not have a talent portion. So you still have the fitness in the bikini or the bathing suit, you still have evening gown, you still have interview. America system does have the talent portion in there, so if you can sing or dance or ukulele or whatever your
And the America
talent
system is a scholarship.
Scholarship system, definitely. And I think they give scholarships as USA. I'm not real sure. I haven't been in that pageant system since I was in my original 20s. And that's usually they do have the cutoffs for the USA and America system. Usually it's either 25, 27. So the most exciting part is that if you are not in your original 20s, there's still a way for you to be able to compete. And that would be through the United America pageant system. And we actually are having a pageant in September, just days away. Like
September's the deadline, yes.
September's the deadline, October's the pageant. But if you're gonna be in the October pageant, you have a few days to decide. So we're gonna be talking to you today about the benefits of being in a pageant, when the Texas pageant is gonna be going on, and just having fun with Miss Cynthia in the house. I'm so excited. Anytime I get to see my pageant sisters, it's like amazing. It's like having a sorority without having to do all the embarrassing things that you have to do when you get pledged into a sorority.
Okay.
So the most exciting thing is that we can start with women who can be grandmas and their grandchildren could actually compete because it's for 6 years old and all the way up. So we have divisions to help every group perfect their onstage presence, which is super fun. They get a reason to buy a fun party dress. And this year's theme at the Texas United pageant is going to be a red, white, and blue. It's a celebration. So have you already picked out your dress?
Of course. I'm always prepared. I have a red one, a blue one, a white one. I'm ready to go.
And that's what's so fun, you know, as the ambassador, as a visiting queen even, you can come out and enjoy the festivities. If you're a visiting queen, we definitely like it when you come out with your beautiful banner, which you can see Miss Cynthia is wearing hers.
Sparkly.
And then usually, what is the rule when we go to different pageants? Usually they ask us to wear banner only, is that correct?
Oh, if you're what they call visiting royalty to other pageants, sometimes they introduce you. Sometimes the directors prefer you just to have the banner. Some allow you to wear a crown and sash.
A lot of girls get intimidated by the word pageant, and you shouldn't be. I think pageants, they really help you to become just a little more polished. They teach you about marketing yourself. They give you on-stage presence opportunities, which normally you don't get to get up on stage and talk about what's important to you or what do you think.
And on the note of intimidation, this is one pageant that's not intimidating. So it's a great starter pageant for those who even considered it. It's wonderful. It's real. You don't have the swimsuit division. Your talent is optional. That's a separate division altogether. You have your interview. You have your fashion wear and your evening gown. We love the evening gown portion. So it's very, and it's not in a huge national television auditorium. So it's a good starter pageant, and the individuals are so positive.
It really is.
Yes.
It's really one of the nicest systems. I've done a few system pageants. You know, when I was in California, I was Mrs. Marina Del Rey. That was the USA system, and there just wasn't that camaraderie in there amongst the ladies and the young girls. And then the no swimsuit part of this pageant system is what I find so liberating.
Yes.
Because, you know, especially when they meet you and you're like, oh, you do pageants, oh, it's like you objectify women. And it's like, well, you know what, if there's a young girl who's trying to go out to be a model or an actress, pageants are a great way to get out there and get exposure. I'm like, but the particular pageant that I enter and now I promote is the one that doesn't have a swimsuit. We substitute that with the exciting fashion portion, which really gives you an opportunity to showcase your party flair, right? And it's just so fun. And I saw a bunch of different flares when I competed. And what was one of the most memorable fashion that you remember from previous pageants?
There were some that go with themes, like an Asian theme. There's some that go a cowboy Western theme. They go all bling with a hat, and it's a lot of going into a theme. That I think that sets it apart.
Yeah. When I did my pageant, I wore my party flair theme. Of course, was pink. Who could guess I like pink? And it had the Swarovski crystals, and it was the short in front, long in back, the way Selena had designed back in when she was still with us, our beautiful Selena. And so that was my party flair. What was your party flair when you won?
Oh, I did the Princess. The Princess Likes Prada. And I did I did a leopard, an animal print jacket with red heels, the sunglasses, all like Parisian on the red carpet look, and then my handbag, and lifted up my glasses. So it was real fashion forward.
Yes.
Yes. So that
So
was fun.
And that's so exciting. It gives you that opportunity to show off that part of your creativity yourself. The fashion portion is really fun. The interview is really interesting too. And again, it's another benefit of doing pageants, because whether you decide to do in modeling, acting, or you do it for personal development, you always need to go interview for a job, at least your first one. And so it gives you, again, another venue for you to be able to practice. So in our pageant system, they do the panel. And that's really, it can be a little nerve-wracking if you're not used to standing up and talking and being asked questions. They're not hard questions, they're just your ideas. They just want to know who you are. They want to know what do you think, what do you believe in, and what do you value. And it's a really good opportunity. Now, I have been in other pageant systems where it was one-on-one. Have you ever done a pageant like that?
Yes, and I also not only competed, but I've judged. So I've been able to either sit down and do where they do the little bell and they switch places.
That's why I have my bell.
Or you have the standing one, and of course the on-stage question also. But it really does help not only in interview, but when you do win the crown, you do interviews like this, and the judges and the people choosing their queen need to have someone that's articulate, that can go out in the public and speak well, and is not too nervous.
Right.
So it does take a little bit of training. And that interview skill does come into play on a day-to-day, real-life situation when you're getting a job.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime. Or, that's the thing is that you never give the questions a lot of time, and so the whole thing is when you're preparing to go in an interview, it gives you that time to be introspective and really answer for yourself. If you won $1 million, what would you do with that today? And I mean, how many times do you get asked that question? Like I don't get that question a lot. So, when you're practicing, that's part of pageant participation. The whole thing is that you want to think about, well, what would I really do? What would you do if you won $1 million today?
That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. $1 million, I would work in my community, bring in something that would bring in revenue, and probably help my mother get a nice condo so she'd have a nice livelihood for the rest of her life.
That's so sweet. Well, that's the thing is that, that pageant preparation is a big part of it. And it just working on being able to think about what you would say in an instance, and also how you present yourself when you walk into a room, even, for example. Do you come in cowering, and do you open the door and just kind of or do you walk in like you're owning it and you're excited to be there and you make eye contact with everybody? And that's another benefit of being in the pageant.
Yeah.
Is it,
you stand out.
You learn how to stand
out. And those are the type of individuals we're looking for. We're looking for individuals that like to perceive themselves a little above average and take that extra time and do like to be a positive role model. So that's, and I tell you that when I was the most shyest little girl, I mean, I came up, my mom would say, call up the church on the automated, and see what the time is, the schedule. I was terrified just to do that. I couldn't even do that. I was shy. I was very, I was tiny, I was little, and look at me now.
And look at her now, full-blown ambassador.
So yes, opportunities like this do help you break out of the shell and become a little more out in the public, and you can network, and it does benefit you in so many ways.
It does. If you're a little caterpillar still and you're still in your little cocoon, you can still become a butterfly. And it's never too late, because we even have elite divisions for 40 and up.
Yes.
So
the glamours.
The glamours. That's right. So that's another benefit of being in this pageant, especially because you can have. It's such a fun thing. You can do it with your daughter. You can do it with your granddaughter. You can do it yourself, and y'all can all be in different divisions, so you're not competing against the 20-year-old when you're not in your original 20s.
And it's a lot of fun. It doesn't take away if you work or you're a housewife. You pick your schedule. You know when you can make these appearances. It's not like a full commitment where they give you a schedule and you have to go to all these. It is you set your own schedule, and it's very conducive. And if you're like that individual that likes to do community work and like to get involved in charity events, this is perfect for you, because our system focuses on community service. I myself just reached, I was a recipient of the President's Volunteer Service Award for 2014, which means I did many, many hours of community service, going to appearances, raising funds and items and toys and things for the community. So that's what I like. I enjoy doing that, and this is perfect for those individuals that want to get out there and do community service.
And that is really the heart of the United America pageant system, is that it is based on your volunteering. So even if you're feeling a little self-conscious, like, I don't know if I could do a bathing suit. Well, guess what? You don't have to do a bathing suit. And what we really want to see is volunteering in the community. And I like to say using the crown as a force for good.
Yes, yes, opening the door.
It does, because, especially when you do go out there and you promote other people's endeavors, you see their situations, and you're able to go out there and inspire and just put a smile on someone's. I mean, who doesn't smile when they see all the bling? Like, they're the beautiful woman, bling, they're like, smile. Like, it's hard to be in a bad mood.
I concur.
And so that's why you're going to definitely want to mark your calendar. September 10th is when you're going to want to send in your official registration, and then the actual pageant is the super fun weekend of Columbus Day weekend.
You don't have to worry about the next day for traveling or children going to school. That Monday is usually off, so that's good.
And you can just make it a fun family event. And especially if the grandma and the mommy and the grandbaby all do it together, or multiple grandbabies. Now, right now we only deal though with the females, so we don't have the male pageant system in there. So it is all female. But there's, if you have a child who you're thinking, she loves to dance and sing and be on stage, get her in. Get her in, because again, it's an on-stage opportunity, and she can show off her party flair or her, favorite outfit. And the interview, I understand they're not going to do the on-stage interview this time around. Is that correct? Have we got confirmation on that yet?
I believe it's just the panel interview for Texas, for the state pageant. There's different requirements for either the preliminary pageant, the state pageant, or the national pageant.
Okay.
So I believe it's the interview.
It's just the panel, which is really nice because then you're in a room
Yes.
with really nice people and they're just asking you about your ideas. So it's hard to get wrong your ideas because even if you get it wrong, it's still you. You can still fix it. It's not like you have to memorize anything. So the Texas pageant will be in October here in San Antonio.
11th and 12th, and our website
is the Texas United America Pageant.com. And then if there's any questions at all ever, you know, Miss Annette is the nicest director, and I've had a few. I'm sure you've had a few.
No, she's
and
wonderful.
she is just so awesome and loving. And so when you call her, she takes her time and she explains everything to you that you may have a question about. So let me just look what her number is: 512-923-1716. 512-923-1716. And that's the thing is that the Little Miss Texas is just so cute babies. Now they don't have to be like what we see on TV. It's kind of scary when you see what they do on TV. We like natural. So don't go over there and try to, you know, tweeze her eyebrows and plump her lips. Don't do that. I mean, we really just want to embrace that natural childhood quality of the little girls and let them just be little girls that have fun with glitter and maybe some lip gloss, but nothing extreme. And that's another thing too, is people see that on TV, those reality shows, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you would, you know, endorse that. And it's like, no, our pageant system isn't like that. We're not.
It's all sensationalism for the camera.
It really is.
And for ratings.
It really is. And so ours is definitely more about community-based, volunteering-based. And we, you know, when the little girls learn, when the children learn about the importance of volunteering, you know, it's something that just helps them the rest of their life.
And you and I can both concur on this, that it is all about the children. Nothing warms my heart, and it's so rewarding when you go to these appearances when the little ones come up to you. And they look up to you, and you autograph, and you talk to them, you let them touch your crown, you let them wear your crown. It's all about the children. It's all about the children.
Their little faces just light up.
That's what makes an appearance for me. Is when I can make the little girls just smile. And if I can, you know, give them that inspiration, you know, to look up to me, and I can be that. I can be a lady. I can represent my community. I can be a good role model. I mean, that just empowers me. It's so empowering, and it's so positive. We need a lot of young ladies.
It's really great, you know, and the diversity that you find in the pageant, in our pageant system. You know, the ladies who've done the few pageants before, like us, you know, we definitely, when we're backstage with them, we're teaching them how to put on their eyelashes or helping them zip up.
I've got my safety pins, whatever needs to be done, what do you need? And we're there. And then if they come to us and have questions and being prepared, the ambassadorship, that's what I do. And that's what other queens that have already had their titles, we would love to help you. We'd love to be your mentor.
And that's
we give
what's
back.
The amazing part of this particular pageant system is that you do have that comer. Because, you know, like I said, in the other ones, it's a smaller range that's able to compete. In ours, you can be as young as 6 and you can be 108. We welcome everyone. We're like, come on out, have fun, dress up, make friends, enjoy the party kind of thing. The other pageant systems, it's a smaller range, so there is more of that competitive feel. Versus ours is more family feel.
It is a family oriented.
Because we have everybody in there. We have the babies, we have the grandmas, we have the mommies. We have single, we have married. And so just to review, so we have the 6 to 13-year-old for the Little Miss Texas competition for the girls. And that one is really easy for sponsorship. It's only a $75 entry fee. So again, you can do things like I remember when I did my first little community pageant, what I did is I actually, my dad put a little, like a canister with my little picture, like, please sponsor at the local remember they used to have the drive-through cantinas? the little drive-through where you could ice houses.
Oh, yeah.
And they would sell sodas and stuff. And so people, after they would pay for their little sodas or chips, of course, this was the 70s, okay, a long time ago. But they would throw their change in there to sponsor the little local pageant girl. And then when, you know, you won, you would go back and you would tell the, you know, the owner, thank you so much, this is what happened. Or even if you didn't win, you still went back and you still made that connection in the community. And again, the networking, the marketing.
Oh, the networking
is invaluable.
Phenomenal. Since I've been doing it since 2009 with this organization, I was Mrs. San Antonio first. I was preliminary, and then I did the state, and then I finally won the national. Well, in doing so for so many years, I've been able to market and network and learn how to go to sponsors, and they sponsor me. Where now for instance, I have free facials from Orchid Laser, and I have a discount for my makeup for Mo Norman.
Who couldn't use that?
So yeah, many sponsors, and then in turn, I put it on my autograph. Wherever I autograph, it's there. I advertise on the program book. And on my websites, my Facebook pages. So they get, that's in turn. But you learn so much about the marketing and the cross promotion.
Yes, and that's what's
it's invaluable.
Awesome about being in a pageant. So if you're still on the fence for yourself or for someone in your family, you know, you may want to, maybe your mom, maybe she needs some kind of exciting thing to get excited about so she can, you know, you just get all prettied up again. Because sometimes you fall into that mom mode or glam mom mode where you're working all the time and you're doing everything you're supposed to, but you just feel like there's not enough fun, girly time in your life. A pageant really makes you budget that time into your day, too.
It's very positive. If you're in a situation where you feel like the world's getting you down and there's certain things that are, I mean, this is something to finally, okay, I'm going to get out there, and it's going to bring you right back up. It's going to give you that self-confidence. You're going to see a new life, a new world, a new people. If so, I mean, everyone does pageants for certain reasons. They have their own X factor.
That's very true.
Yeah, but you grab it, and it's all positive. It's positive. It will help. Whatever your X factor is, you know, go for it. If it's community service, it's to enrich your life, if a more positive role model, you know, whatever it is.
It's exciting.
This is a good pageant to do it in.
It really is so fun. So 6 to 13, and then we have the teen division, 14 to 19, and then the 21 and up. Actually, the Miss is 19 to 27, and that's the one where it's a single. So if you're single between 19 and 27, you can do the Miss division. Then that's MISS. Because then we have the MS division, 23 and up, and that's any marital status. So you have some flexibility. So if you're like, oh, I'm already married, or oh, I'm not married, I can't do. We do have the Misses. Now that one obviously is only for the married, and that one is 21 and up. And then we have the elite division, which is 40 and up. And that, again, any marital status. So you're not pigeonholed into any particular, you know, category. You can actually compete in different categories if you choose to.
Yeah, there's different divisions, and then tell them the fun thing of the overall top scorer for this pageant.
So the super duper uber exciting part is $1,000 cash. Cash.
Hello, I'm there.
Cash is king. Cash is king. Whether you use it for your scholarship money and you go to use it as your schooling, if you're maybe maybe it's a business. Maybe you're in business. You want to promote yourself. Pageant's a great way to do that. You can put that into your business. It's cash. Cash goes anywhere.
Hello.
I know. I've never had anybody call me and say, I want $1,000 cash and I'm very upset about my experience. I'd be like, really? Wow. It's like, you can make me upset if you want to make me upset with $1,000.
So I believe it's the overall total score
for
all the
new
divisions.
Queen,
yes,
with
new
the
queen.
With the best highest overall score. So again, you know, you would just need a dress either in red, white, or blue for the opening number.
Cocktail.
A little cocktail dressy dress, your best party dress.
A fun fashion wear.
Fun fashion. So that can be a theme wear, that can be fashion. It can be whatever represents your personality
yes.
that you want to, you know, showcase. And then the interview suit.
Yeah.
And then you want to have a nice interview suit.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to go out. Now, I have to admit, you know, I find some really great deals at like Ross and TJ Maxx.
Burlington.
Yeah, Burlington. And I have to confess that when I won mine, I actually had gone to the 75% off at the Dillard's, the local mall. And it was 75%
Dillard's
off.
has
So
it, yeah.
it was like, I want to say maybe $89
For a suit,
for
yeah.
no, that was my formal.
Oh my goodness.
My formal.
That's another thing. If you're a super shopper, you make a great queen.
You will, because you definitely want to
We
look
know
for
how to
those
shop.
sales.
Because think about it, all the appearances we have to have a dress for each occasion, and then you can't wear the same one again next
Yeah,
week.
because if you decide you want to do that many
Yes.
Events and
You will
occasions,
become a super shopper.
You will become a super
And you have the eye. We'll help you on what to select.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the thing is, you know, learning about what your best colors are.
Yes.
You know, personal development
Yes.
is a big part of being in a pageant, because you do learn like what is the best hair, you know, shaping cut you should get.
Yes.
What are your best colors? You know, what colors make you feel empowered, and what colors make you feel like you have jaundice. You know, or you feel sick, or you're nauseated, right?
I've learned to really look for evening gowns at a very good price, because being petite, once I get it at a good price, I still have to do alterations. Hello? Do I get a discount for knocking off this much material? No.
That is something too. So then you go and you deal with the seamstress, and then
Yeah.
again you're like, hey, I can promote you.
Yeah.
You can help me out a little bit on
My
this.
photo is at my alteration ladies.
There you go.
Business.
And
Yes.
that's the thing is, and then you're making those cool connections in the community, because, you know, learning how to speak to somebody, getting those sponsorship, it's going to be key. I mean, unless you can just really just, you know, write out that check, you're going to want to be able to use your marketing skills. And if you're planning on being in business or anything in life, you know, it's great to have connections with the local seamstress. It's great to have, you know, connections with the local
Speaking of
cosmetic
local,
bar.
we're here in San Antonio, and for those queens or in the San Antonio area or want to drive in, they're all welcome.
Fly in.
Yeah, fly in. We do have a lot of events here, but yeah, I mean everywhere. But in San Antonio per se, if you are we do the Flambeau Parade.
It's exciting.
Yes. And we do a lot of community work for St. PJ's. And it's coming up in November. My Princess and Me, we do every year. So, yeah, all the United America Queens are invited. And I've been going for the past, since 2006. And so we take our queens and they dress up like fairy princesses. And for a good cause.
Of
So
course.
we have a lot of events for y'all to choose to make it. You're not mandatory to make these, but I would, because it's a lot of fun.
It is, and it's an opportunity to wear your pretty crown.
Yes, and get all dressed up.
And exactly, and wear your sash. Now, that's the interesting thing whenever you do a pageant is they don't just assign you, okay, contestant number 1, contestant number 2, contestant number 3. It's, okay, well, let's find a name that represents your area.
That's a positive.
So you definitely get a little opening title. You get a little opening sash. So now, even if you don't win that first pageant, which I did not win my first pageant, I was terrified because I had done the USA system, and I'll never forget how terrified I was just standing in 5-inch heels in a bathing suit thinking, who told me this was a good idea? Why did I sign up to do this? Then before they could even finish saying my name, Jacqueline Leyva, which is my maiden name, I had already walked out and walked back. I was not about posing and doing the pageant walk. It was just, for fear, run and run back and be like, done, I did it. But with this pageant, you don't have that fear factor in there. And that's the whole thing is that when you realize that you can have confidence and stride out there and you're completely covered in something you chose.
Yes.
It's a very empowering feeling.
We're somewhat, I would say, on the image of the America system, because we are a little more conservative, a little more family oriented. So
very family
yes.
oriented.
So we will help you with getting the correct or appropriate gowns or cocktail dresses for the event.
For the event, and then you'll have your little the actual contestant name. So I was Miss River City at the Miss Texas USA.
Oh, that's a big plus. A lot of people don't know. right off the bat. Like, for instance, if you're going to apply for this title, you're going for Mrs. Texas, you would get a preliminary title, like Mrs. San Antonio, Mrs. Bexar County, Mrs. Leon Valley, Mrs. Alamo Heights, all areas, cities, counties. And the good thing about it is it's a win-win, because even if you do not get the Texas title, you keep your city or area or county title for the full year. So you can still continue and do appearances. So and then when the national one comes in June, you have the option to possibly do that. So there's always opportunities.
Yeah.
And it's a really positive part of it that a lot of people don't know the advantage of. Well, gosh, if I'm not going to go because I may not get Texas. It's like, well, whether you do or not, you're still a winner.
You're still a winner. You're still going to represent your municipality.
You're still a queen.
That's
you have
right.
a crown, you have a sash, you do appearances.
And you go make
yes.
those connections in the community. And now if you do win the Texas United America pageant, which would be very exciting because it is a very exciting moment in a girl's life, then your entry fee for the nationals is covered.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's exciting because, again, if you're out there getting sponsorships and you're out there talking to community leaders about endorsing you and sponsoring you, you know, that's just a little bit less you have to worry about. But it's an investment in yourself, you know, when you do a pageant, because that money that you spend, it's basically in your personal development area.
Yes.
And it is exciting to win the crown, but when I talk with girls who ask me about pageant participation, I said, you have to remember there's only one crown for that division that you're competing in. And there's a lot of other, you know, girls. But the nice thing is that you actually get to work on just improving yourself overall. You work on your public presentation, and that is invaluable as you go through life. And you know, I'm a business owner. I know you do a lot of choreography, and you actually do the choreography for the United America pageant as well, correct?
Yes.
You and your husband?
Yeah, me and my husband do a pageant production company.
Okay.
We did the Miss San Antonio America pageant, and I believe they're going to ask us to help them again this year. We did Miss Fiesta San Antonio for over a decade. We love doing it. Miss Shirts, and we just finished doing Miss Latina San Antonio. And yeah, we do the production. I do the choreography on stage, the evening wear, the walk, the opening number. My husband does the lighting, the script, calls the show, works with the technicians. So it's a good fit. Matter of fact, that's when I found out about the United America pageant, because I would have never known that there were other pageants for individuals that are already married and moms and grandmas. I figured, okay, once you're a miss, that I missed my mark.
You missed the window.
I missed the window.
You aged
and
out.
I would have never thought of doing it. But since I was in this industry, the girls, oh, Miss Cynthia, you're giving me all these great tips, and why don't you? I was like, oh, really, me? I was like, no, I'm too short. I'm married. No, there's
Petite.
There's all these other pageants. That's like, and then you look into it, it's like, oh my goodness, you mean I could have had a V8? I could have done this a long time ago. You know, I could have done the misses, the petites. And so like, wow. So yeah, don't. The only person that holds yourself back is you.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's just that mental game we play with ourselves, that we're not pretty enough, we're not good enough. But you know what? You have to just wipe that away. They say you can't help what birds fly over your head, but you can help which ones make a nest in your head.
Yeah.
And so if that bird is telling you, oh, you're not a pageant girl, you don't have any business, just shoo that bird away. And then the bird that brings in positivity and inspiration is like, you know what? If you're ever going to try it today, because tomorrow's never guaranteed to anybody, unfortunately. So
and the pageant industry is not for everyone. We know that. But if you love dressing up, if you love being a positive role model, you like giving back to the community, you love children, you know, you want to really give, and you're a good-hearted individual, and you're a lady, and you like to promote that. This is very non-intimidating, and everyone's very friendly, and I would highly suggest this system.
And it's so balanced in the way the areas of competition. So only 25% of your panel interview is utilized when they do your overall judging. So if you feel like, oh, you know, I'm going to be too nervous during the interview, guess what? It's only 25%. It's a little piece. It's not the whole piece. 25% of your fashion wear, which we call the, you know, you can do theme, you can do fashion, and then 25% of your evening gown wear. So if you're like, oh, I can't afford one of those beautiful rhinestone evening gowns, that's okay. You can go to the local mall, go on a 75% rack.
Yes,
And even, you know, I've like the other stores we mentioned, the Ross, the TJ Maxx, you can find all kinds of really great stuff there. And then 25% is photogenic. So it's very balanced. There's 4 areas of competition in this particular pageant system. Now, other pageant systems, they may put more emphasis on your fitness. They may put more emphasis on your interview.
A lot of them are really big on the interview.
And so, you know, it's really nice that it's all balanced. So
yes, it is. That's true.
Just a quarter each.
Also, in the divisions, they're not 10 to 20 in each division.
No.
Something I've seen a couple of times when like a smaller division, like the teen, only had 1 or 2 or 3 contestants.
So
I think the biggest one on the average that I've seen maybe is the misses, maybe 6 to 7 at the most. So yeah, the divisions are not huge.
So it's very bonding. You get to make friends with the ladies because then again, you're going to do events with them, hopefully. You know, and so you definitely are going to meet other cool women doing cool things with their lives, you know, wherever they may be in that journey. And that's exciting, you know, because you want to surround yourself with positive people doing positive, inspiring things in their life.
And I give back because I've been doing pageants, you know, the industry since 2009. And I've gone to so many events. Now I just sit back, they call me, and I'm more than happy to share my events. The big ones, I'll call up my other queens, hey, you want to come with me? Because it's fun to have other queens with you. Now there's some, you know, that they want just one queen, and that's fine. But if I can invite, I do.
It is. And, you know, especially Fiesta Week, I got to spend time with Cynthia and her family, and that was super fun. And San Antonio really offers that. I think it's very unique. And so if you decide to go out for the Texas United America, you're going to get a title. It won't be Texas, obviously, unless you win it.
You will win it.
Exactly. And then this way you can start to participate. And let me tell you, just having those experiences, having that fun, having those pictures taken, and you can always look back at them and show your friends and family later on, like, hey, I tried this, I did this.
It's great on a resume too, having that title, depending on what business you're going into. Let's say you're going into cosmetology. Wow, to say that you're a former Miss Texas, my God, that's a wonderful feather to have in your crown.
It is. It is. And that's the thing is, you know, even if you're going into marketing, public relations for a huge company, and you can say, hey, I've held this title, and, you know, I've been able to go out to these events, I've been able to do public speaking. That shows them that extra initiative than just maybe enrolling only in community courses or university courses where you just, it's all theory.
Yeah, exactly. I've been out there, did it, done it, have the 2 t-shirts.
Exactly. And that's the thing is that you don't get that unless you do a pageant. So we're really super hoping that you're going to log on to our Texas United America pageant.com or contact Miss Annette. And she's also on Facebook. And so thank God for Facebook because we do have nationals, which will be next year in June in Austin. And so what happens is we have ladies who come in from Alaska, which, hello, Mrs. Alaska. We love you. And we have ladies from all over that fly in. So don't think that, you know, just because I can't make Texas, if you're watching from somewhere else, then there's no opportunity. Know that we have a national opportunity for you as well in Austin, and that's in June, and that's always super fun.
And we are in the media. We have Facebook pages. We have a website. You can contact us. The national one is United America pageant.com, and we also have a Facebook page, and we have a San Antonio page too, San Antonio United America Pageant. So yeah, we're everywhere. So yeah, a lot of exposure too.
Exactly. So I'll just review with you. You can be as young as 6, And we have the 16 to 13-year-old division. And then we have the 14 to 19 for the teens. And then we have the Miss, M-I-S-S, which is 19 to 27. So those, the marital status needs to be single for the M-I-S-S. And if you want to be a M-S Miss, that's 23 and up, and that's any marital status. So
Yes.
I love that. Mrs. is 21 and up, obviously, being married, and the elite is 40 and up, and that's any marital status again. And I really have met some amazing competitors in the elite division when I personally did it. I was just, you know, I can't remember her name exactly off my hand, but she had a book this big of all her beautiful pageant pictures since she was a little girl. And when you meet a true pageant girl who's just lived it, breathed it, you're just like, wow. And they're so inspiring, so sharing. And it's so much fun to see the journey. And when you start your journey as a pageant participant, or maybe you already participate in different pageants and you just want a little more experience, because that's another thing I tell the girls is normally you don't walk out and win your first pageant. You know, really, it's really hard to say that that's really going to happen. The more you do, just like anything else, the more you practice something, the better you get, the better you get.
Okay, a different
Mental
dress,
note to self.
different haircut. Okay.
It's so true. And the more you practice participating in pageants, eventually you're going to win that crown.
Because you'll learn.
And you just, and life is just all about evolution and learning, and this is a great forum to do it in. So definitely you can get your money in by September 10th, and just a small down payment of $150 needs to be in by September 10th, because then that'll secure your title. They can start to make your little banner and get you ready, you know, and that'll help you, like, on your mark, get set, go. Time to start training. Time to start watching your nutrition. Time to start doing your stress management. You know, and that's the thing is over here I offer free Pilates yoga on Sundays. It's a meditational, just to help you kind of just breathe. And that's what you want to learn is how to control your nerves, because inevitably you get nervous. I mean, if you're human and you have a pulse, you get nervous. I mean, it just happens to all of us. But if you learn how to breathe, and then when you get to meet all the fabulous ladies and just see how this pageant system in particular is really about family and just helping each other. You know, of course, everybody wants to win the crown, but everybody realizes that we are based in volunteering. So, you know, it's so like you attract the kind of people who appreciate volunteering, appreciate giving back to the community. So you usually don't find the sharks in that pool. No. Now, in other pools, you know, where
there's always one.
There's always one. In any group, right? Tennis, volleyball, pageants, you know, golf. You're going to find a competitor that is maybe taking it, you know, a little
But
off.
we are gracious, and we learn how to deal with individuals.
We do, and you know, just that socialization, and again, going back to the networking, the marketing, it's just so beneficial.
And another positive, may I share with you?
Yeah.
It keeps me in check physically, because I remember when I held the Mrs. Petite United America national title, I said, okay, my reign is over. I'm going to give up my crown. They gave me this wonderful ambassadorship, which is a lifetime
that's huge.
title, which means, no, I couldn't relax. I couldn't go back and do the potato chips and watch TV. It's like, uh-oh. I mean, now I have to consciously watch my nutrition, watch my working out, and it's all positive. It keeps me in check, and I can promote a physical, positive lifestyle.
And that's
So,
what
it's
it's
nothing
about.
wrong with
Being
it.
balanced.
Yes.
Balance. We like balance, and this helps you to balance yourself, and it helps you to realize, oh, maybe I'm not taking out that time to deal with my stress. Maybe I am using potato chips to help me deal with stress
Like,
instead of
wait,
walking.
I'm an ambassador. I have a pageant
Obligation.
to do in a couple of weeks. I better start
That's
working out.
right. And you got to make sure you fit into all your cute outfits.
You can't. You pay so much for the evening gown. You gotta
Exactly.
fit into it.
You've got to fit into it. And motivation is everything in fitness,
Absolutely.
because I always say you can go on YouTube and see the meanest workouts. You can log on and find any kind of diet you're interested in doing. But it's all about motivation. A pageant will motivate you. And and it does. And, you know, and Miss Annette is just so awesome, because, you know, if you're feeling down, if you're like, you know, you need to discuss something with her, she is always happy to take your call. And like I said, that's not as often found in other pageant systems, I should say. Sometimes they're like, you know what, get it together, you got a deadline, make it happen, fix it kind of thing. But Ms. Inez's like, no, I want to hear your concerns, and I'll help you come up with an option or something. So she definitely will work with you. You don't have to feel like.
And we're talking about fitness, but we don't want to intimidate anyone thinking you have to be six-packed. No, healthy and just balanced, and you're fine. We all shapes and sizes. We very diverse. Mothers, glamours. So no, you don't have to be,
No, not at all. You just want to present a healthy image of yourself. And this gives you that opportunity to do
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Miss Cynthia, for coming in. I'm so glad. Okay, so don't forget, go on to TexasUnitedAmericaPageant.com. You can also find us on Facebook. You can also call Miss Annette. We will be pushing those websites at the end, so that this way, if you need to see how to spell it, you
can have one of these.
Exactly.
You too can do it.
I know, mine's on display.
It's the new fashion wear. You have to have. It's a must-have.
It's the bling.
It's the new thing.
The bling. It's like, how do you walk out without your bling?
You got to have it. It's the accessory to have.
It is.
What? You don't have one?
Exactly.
Go get one.
You need one. Call Miss Annette. Call Miss Annette and log on. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on SATalkToday.com. Bye.